Good morning. It is a trail run day. Let's go. So it's Sunday, the end of week 5 of this Tarawera 102k trail race training block, and it's been a tough week. It's been a tough week because my motivation levels have hit rock bottom, and there's a number of reasons for that. I think the main reason for motivation being so rock bottom is that 5 weeks into this training block and I don't feel like it's going well. Although I'm averaging around 100k a week, I don't feel like I'm running well. Oh, my motivation, my confidence has taken a bit of a hit. The cicadas are just getting warmed up. Normally really loud, especially in this area, Venman National Park. But it's just a little bit after 6:30 to go across this little creek. And maybe they're just starting to wake up from their slumber. Some days I've run through here and they have been almost deafening. They've been that loud. I'm hitting all the sessions that I want to hit, but these trail runs on the weekends, on Sundays, I'm nowhere near where I should be 5 weeks in. I think my longest run on the trail so far in this training block is 18k, 2.5 hours. I know that it's not enough. Been hitting my midweek longer road runs, those 20k runs, but I just don't have the motivation to get out here on the trails, which is a shame because I really do enjoy coming out here once I'm here. Today I'm just going to spend 3 hours out here. I'm just going to run a little bit. I'm going to walk probably a hell of a lot, just to try and get those motivational juices flowing again, because at the moment I'm just finding it really tough. It's not just how poorly I think this training block's going. There's a few other reasons as well why I just don't feel like my heart's in it at the moment. Don't get me wrong, because I love my running, I really do. I've had such a good running year, getting back under 3 hours again for that marathon after so many years of injury interruptions. I just feel like I need a break. I need some downtime. And I think that's what's really pushing the motivation level down. Because in the back of my mind, I just love to have a bit of time off. But looking forward, I've got a 102k race in New Zealand in, what is it, 8-9 weeks. I've got to keep just pushing forward to try and prepare for that the best I can. I'll get to how I'm dealing with that motivation drain, I guess, in a little while in this video, guys, but there's quite a few other factors too which are contributing to the low motivation level, and I guess I'm not alone here. I did put in for the London and Berlin marathon lotteries this year, and I unfortunately struck out like so many other people. But the really frustrating thing about Berlin was that for my age, 2:55 was the qualifying time to get in, and at Melbourne I went 2:57 and some change, so just missed out there. And That was sort of a little bit disappointing that I didn't get into either lottery, but it's the way it goes. Another factor is, and I do this every year, is I enter events early in the year, which means have to train through the Brisbane summer. And now that I'm 56, and I'm really noticing it this year, is that I am struggling already at this early stage in summer. We're only in the second week of summer, and the heat and the humidity is really affecting me. And I'm just struggling with my running in those sort of conditions. Next year, I'm definitely going to have downtime over the next summer. Concentrate more on running events in cooler weather, because I really feel like the body is taking a hit in these conditions. And the final reason why I think I'm struggling with motivation is that I really don't have a goal for Tarawera. My main goal is just to get to the finish line in one piece. Normally with preparing for events, I'm quite competitively driven, just within myself, to, you know, meet my expectations. Like it might be to meet a goal of a time or a placing, something like that. But this time around, none of that. It's all about just getting to the finish. I think I've got a bit of a attitude of, it'll be right, Jack, just do a little bit over summer, get to the race day and see what happens. And I'm not normally like that, but it is 102k, never been that far. Like I keep saying, sounding like a broken record, I just want to experience it, get to the finish and say, you know what, I've done a 100k race and I'm pretty proud of that. Alright, going to discover those tracks one day. Always just do this loop here at Venman. It's about 7.5k. There's a couple little offshoot trails as well. I will go and explore one day. Right on the hour. So 7.7k, excuse me. Went that way last time. So I'm going to go down this way. Just a little bit shorter loop in this way, but then I'm going to cut across into Daisy Hill Conservation Park, and there's a lot more trails in there, which you would have seen on the last video. Which way shall I go? I think I'll go this way. I know I'm having a bit of a whinge about it all, and I'm sure there's lots of you out there now going, harden up, sunshine, put your big boy pants on. And you're right, but not every training block is going to go smoothly, and that's what I'm trying to show here with this video, guys, is that yes, I had a really good training block for the sub 3 hour marathon that I did at Melbourne, but this one's not going so well. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything with my running. This is holeless, bowless, the full journey, the good, the bad, the ugly. At the moment, this training block is just a little bit of a battle. Okay, so now I'm going to head over into Neville Lorry Reserve, over in this way. And that's Daisy Hill that I was just talking about earlier. So let's go. Alright, so the big question is, what am I doing about getting my motivation back? Well, this week although it's been a struggle. Done a couple of things a little bit differently. I caught up with a few of the runners that I coach. I ran to meet them, so getting some extra miles that way. Good to catch up with them and have a chat, and also to have a run with them as well. It's always good to run with other people when you're feeling a little bit low about your running. It does give you a little bit of a pick you up. Let's go this way. Now everybody's going to have their little go-tos, how they pull themselves out of a bit of a running funk. For me, I like to go and enjoy some different running locations, mix up my normal running routes. Just sort of tricks the mind a little bit, I reckon, that you're not running the same places, the same routes, doing the same distances on those routes. It just does get a little bit monotonous. So I like to mix it up, and that just sort of flicks a little switch. Really helps me to enjoy my running a lot more. And another thing I have been enjoying this week, running related, is watching Stephen Scullion on YouTube. Now, if you don't know who Stephen is, I'll put a link to his channel in the descriptions below. But he's an Irishman, fastest Irish marathoner, 2:09, something like that. He's documenting his journey to try to get to Paris 2024 Olympics. Guys, go and check him out. Really down to earth guy, and he's got some great running tips on there as well. Watching him go through his early processes on that journey has been really good to watch, and just has got the motivation level rising a little bit. Believe it or not, Ripley's is my favourite single track in here at Daisy Hill, but it's also extremely popular with mountain bike riders, so we'll have to keep an ear out, and I'm sure there'll be some belting through here before too long. And another thing that can help too is to buy some new running gear. That sometimes gives your mojo a bit of a lift. I haven't so much bought running gear this time, but I did update my GoPro, guys. Yes, finally. GoPro Hero 8 Black that I was using. It's just becoming a little bit unreliable, so I've upgraded to the Hero Black 11 from GoPro, and this is its maiden voyage. Also got a new extender pole with it, new microphone as well, so which sits in a little housing, so hopefully this sound quality is a little bit better, guys. So it's always nice to get new gear. It does give you a little bit of a lift, and I guess as well, entering events normally gives me a bit of a lift as well, but I guess just because I am at the end of such a good year of running that I'd like to just sit back and savour that for a little bit, but can't do that. There's work to be done. Alright, just hit 2 hours and 15.7 k's, a little bit further that hour, but I am doing a lot of filming as well, and even after 2 hours I feel okay. It is quite humid as well in here, not a lot of breeze this morning, so it is quite warm, and I've only brought 2 flasks of water, 2 gels, and I had a banana before I started. Running on a little bit of emptiness, but that's okay because I'm not flogging myself today. It's all about time on these things, getting time on legs. So into the last hour, I reckon I can almost start to make my way back to the car. Hey mate. I do love getting out in the bush and running over these trails. Really, really special, stunning, peaceful. Cicadas, birds. Where am I? 18.6. Okay, that's good. Got about 5k to go. Should finish around about 24k, 23, 24k. That'll be perfect for this morning. And I don't feel like I have beaten the body too much, so that's a real plus. Hey big fella, you're pretty big, aren't you? Yeah, you let me get any closer? Sure if you can see that goanna on that tree, guys. Usually see one or two in here on my runs. Do give you a bit of a fright when they rustle through the grass. You don't know what it is at first, whether it's one of them or a snake. Okay, let's see what we got here. So 3 hours on the dot, 24 kilometres, 7.5 minute average pace, a lot of stopping for filming and that. 473 metres of elevation, so that's really good. Got a bit warm towards the end and did start to struggle a little bit, but really enjoyed that, and just nice to get a few more Ks into these legs. Yeah, so hopefully runs like that will get my mojo back a little bit. Guys, what do you do when your motivation is starting to wane a little bit? How do you get your mojo back? Let me know down in the comments some of your tips or some of your things that you turn to lift your spirits and get your mojo back.